I wish I knew to avoid these car mods when I first started getting into cars. Hey guys, my name is Logan, we're Cream Tag, and today I'm going to be going over what not to do to your first project car. Or any project car in general, really. When I first got into cars, I didn't really have any kind of connection with the car scene. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just liked cars, and I was like, hey, I want to get a cool car, I want to get a project car, and mod it. However, there are some things that I did that, looking back, I wish that I hadn't. Like cutting off your muffler, for example. Now, if you're going to replace it with a proper straight pipe that runs out the end of the car, by all means, it may not sound the best, but if you're doing it on a budget, then that's what you got to do. However, do not just cut it off or remove it and leave it ending underneath your car. If you leave it ending underneath your car, you're going to be dumping exhaust fumes, carbon monoxide into the cabin of your car, and it can be poisonous. It can cause headaches, it can cause nausea, and in like some cases it can cause brain damage if it's bad enough. Another thing that you're going to want to avoid when you get your first car, you don't want to go straight into buying all these cool aftermarket parts for it, like wheels, coilovers, intakes, exhaust, all that kind of stuff. You want to just focus on your maintenance. Your basic maintenance is key. When you buy your first car, use this as a reminder to go change your oil. Most people often forget that they need to do their oil change roughly every 3 months or 5,000 kilometers. Make sure you do that. After you get a car, you never know for sure when the last oil change was done. So go and do that. Whether you take it to a shop, do it in your garage, just get it done. A lot of insurance companies will require a safety inspection, so a certified shop to look at your car and pass it off as roadworthy in order for you to insure your car. Now, this is not all insurance companies, but a lot of them. The insurance company that I have does require that. So that's one thing that can be helpful for knowing what you might need to fix on your car. And if you're not required to do that, I would recommend going and getting it done. A lot of shops will do it for give or take $100. Pretty cheap, and it's a really easy way to know what exactly is wrong with your car. So yeah, basic maintenance is key. Make sure you're doing your maintenance that you need to do. Up next, make sure that when you go to buy wheels and tires that you're getting wheels and tires that are reputable. Now, the last thing you want to do is you don't want to go and spend a bunch of money on wheels that you think look good and have them turn out to be crap and break on you while you're driving. This is super common with some rep companies. Now, make sure that whatever you get is good quality. Super easy to just Google it. You can look on forums if you're not exactly sure. Ask other people in the car scene that you may know. It's super easy to figure out if a wheel company is good or bad. Just make sure you do that. It doesn't have to be something super expensive like Works or Enki or Rays or any of these like expensive companies, but it will most definitely be worthwhile to make sure that whatever wheels you're getting aren't going to get destroyed, because that can cause some serious problems. Now, the next thing is aftermarket steering wheels. So I have an aftermarket steering wheel in one of my cars, in my Integra, but I made sure I have a good quality wheel and a good quality quick release along with a good quality hub adapter. All of these things you need to make sure that whatever you get is going to be of decent quality, because if it's not, it could end up costing you your life, which is a pretty big deal.
Oh no!
I've heard that's pretty common for some cheaper Amazon type aftermarket steering wheels that don't really have a well-known brand or even a brand at all. They'll literally blow up, like explode while you're driving. Heat and cold can be a cause of this. Just the materials that's made out of, they can cause the steering wheel to crack and cause it to explode. I know it sounds crazy, but it has happened. And so you want to make sure that you're staying away from cheaper, not very well-known brands where that might be a risk. Some good brands you can get aftermarket wheels and quick releases from are brands like NRG, Sparco, Momo, Works Bell, the list goes on. Now, keep in mind that putting any kind of aftermarket wheel in your car will remove your airbag, which is a pretty important piece to your car's safety. So if you're going to be doing that, make sure you know the risks. Alright, up next is your AutoZone Classic Big Wing. Now, you may go and you see this massive wing.
So what do you guys think? Because again, like I said in the car, it looks absolutely absurd.
They may think, oh, this looks super cool, and you slap it on your car, and then it's cheap and flimsy, and they just look bad. Most of the times, these large wings that you'll see on cars, all they're doing is just increasing drag. Next is fake vents. You'll see these a lot on cars, and it's another AutoZone special. There's no such thing as a fake vent that looks cool. Now, if you're actually gonna go through with it and like cut your hood open or whatever, make sure you're doing it in such a way that's actually gonna help your car, and even then, it's probably still not gonna look good. So I would just say avoid doing any kind of like aftermarket venting at all, unless it's like body kit stuff or you actually have put your research in and know what you're doing. Don't put fake vents on your car, please. It's awful. Now, oftentimes these cars that will have fake vents on them or these big chassis mount wings will have sad boy or like locally hated stickers on them. Most of the time, those people who have like locally hated stickers on them, their only hater is themselves. Nobody probably knows who they are. Just don't put those stickers on your car. It's super cheesy and they don't look good. Just kind of stay away from that whole thing. One big thing that I will say to stay away from, this is something that's a bit more common, is like Plasti Dip wheels or like hoods, stuff like that. Just stay away from Plasti Dip altogether. There's not really any reason why you should be Plasti Dipping anything. If you want to paint your wheels, do it properly, sand them down, get wheel paint. Even if you're doing it from a rattle can, get proper wheel paint. Don't Plasti Dip them. Plasti Dip doesn't look good, it doesn't give a nice finish, and it will peel off, just leaving your wheel looking even worse than before. Don't go black on black on black on black with everything. If your car's black, don't get black wheels. Don't tint your taillights. Don't like totally murder out your car unless that's a specific look that you're going for. I mean, even just don't do it. It's not the 90s, it doesn't look good, it never looks good, and it just kind of leaves little to be desired about your car. Stay away from tinted taillights. Do not tint your taillights. Don't do spray tint, don't do actual tint. Like, don't buy fogged out taillights or headlights. Just stay away from that altogether. People behind you will not be able to see your brake lights. If you tint your headlights, you won't be able to see where you're going at night. They don't look good. People can't see you. It's just not very smart or safe. Fake carbon. Don't do fake carbon, please. Stay away from fake carbon anything. Don't put fake stuff on. It's super easy to tell when your carbon is fake. So just stay away from that. The very last thing I will say is do not buy a cheap eBay exhaust. I have made this mistake myself. Yes, it may make your car louder, but at a cost. What's that cost? It sounds like crap. Nobody wants their car to sound like crap. It is better to have your stock muffler and your car to be quiet than to have an eBay exhaust that's super loud and drones out your whole car so you can't even hear yourself think. And not only is it super loud, but it is super irritating to everyone around you because it sounds so awful. Make sure if you're buying an aftermarket exhaust, you get something that's quality. Do your research, make sure you buy something that is going to sound good and is going to be a good addition to your car and not a negative. That's it for today. There are so many other things that I could talk about and things to avoid in terms of car modifications. This is just a short list to say, hey, maybe stay away from this stuff if you don't know exactly what you want to do with your car. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notifications, and let me know down in the comment section down below if you like this video, and if you want to see more content like this. If you have any other videos that you'd love to see from me, let me know. I'd love to hear all of your input. I upload weekly every Sunday, so make sure you tune in next week for next week's video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.